Imagine building one of the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. You have spaceships, laser weapons, futuristic cities, and tech that is centuries ahead of Earth. So naturally, you dress your elite security force in bright orange crash helmets, knee-high boots, and uniforms that leave most of their bodies completely bare, because apparently on Planet Medusa, protecting your knees was way more important than protecting, well, anything else. Welcome to Star Maidens, a forgotten 1976 sci-fi show that somehow mixed serious social commentary, recycled Space 1999 sets, pure disco fashion, and one of the strangest battles of the sexes ever seen on TV. And believe me, those uniforms aren't even the weirdest thing about it. When people look back at British sci-fi from the 1970s, the same names always come up. Doctor Who, Space 1999, Blake's 7, but quietly sitting in the corner, wearing a bright orange crash helmet, is Star Maidens. It only lasted 13 episodes, yet 50 years later, people still remember it. Not because it was a masterpiece, but because absolutely nothing else on Earth looked quite like it. It is part serious sci-fi, part comedy, part social satire, and part what were they actually thinking. But, as bizarre as the show often gets, there is a fascinating story behind how this whole thing came to be. The core idea is actually pretty clever. The story takes place on a frozen rogue world called Medusa, where everyone lives in massive underground cities. So far, so good. But then comes the twist. Medusa is a society run entirely by women. They are the politicians, the scientists, the military leaders. Meanwhile, the men are stuck doing the hard labour or working as maids. Imagine flying across the galaxy just to find out your new job description is dusting sci-fi furniture. Eventually, two guys named Adam and Shem decide they've had enough. They steal a ship, escape to Earth, and realise life down here isn't quite what they expected either. It is a highly total flip of the norm. Turn society upside down and see what happens. The problem? The show couldn't quite decide how seriously it wanted to take its own idea. And this is where the story gets good. Behind the camera, this was a battle between two different shows. It was a co-production between Britain and West Germany. The British team wanted smart sci-fi, they wanted to explore power, equality, and flipped gender roles. The German side wanted something way lighter. They wanted pure camp, just good-looking actors rolling around futuristic sets. Those two styles do not mix. 1 minute you are looking at deep themes of social control. The next, a character is baffled by a rainy day in London, or walking the streets looking totally confused. It's a bizarre combination, but that is exactly what gives the show its charm. You never know if the next scene will make you think or make you laugh out loud. Sometimes it does both at once, and that is why it still has a following today. First off, the show looks amazing for its time, especially on a tight budget. If the background looks familiar, there's a good reason why. The production designer was Keith Wilson, the same guy behind Space 1999. During a filming break, he hijacked the same props, wall panels, and model ships for Star Maidens. Call it cheap if you want, I call it smart. If a high-tech control room is just sitting there empty, why waste cash building a new one? It gave the whole show a massive scale on a shoestring budget. Plus, look at the cast. Long before he took the lead in Blake 7, Gareth Thomas stars right here as Shem. You can already see the star power that made him a sci-fi legend. Mind you, keeping a serious face in those bright orange outfits is an award-winning performance on its own. Let's be real, most fans remember this show for one thing: the outfits. Orange helmets, high boots, and a shockingly tiny amount of fabric. Apparently, the generals on Medusa thought body armour was a waste of time. It's beautifully absurd. But here's the best part. No one in the cast acts like it's weird. They play it dead straight, and that makes it 10 times more entertaining. Still, past the crazy clothing, a solid sci-fi concept was buried underneath. A society built on unfair rules, deep themes of power, freedom, and flipped roles. Sadly, those smart plots were trapped inside a campy comedy. Because of that, the show never settles on a single tone. Sometimes it's deep, sometimes it's a total joke, and quite often it is both at the very same time. In the end, the show only got 13 episodes. It cost too much, the scheduling was a mess, and plans for a second season died when the funding dried up, which is a pity, because look, it might not be a flawless show, it is still totally fascinating. It's a flawless window into 70s TV, ambitious, creative, and a total wild card. Best of all, it wasn't scared to be unique. Did it all land? Not by a long shot, but is it unforgettable? No question. Sometimes TV history gives us hits, sometimes it gives us flops, and occasionally it gives us something so beautifully strange that people still look it up 50 years later. Star Maidens is exactly that kind of show. So, have you ever watched Star Maidens? Do you remember it from the 1970s, or is this the first time you've ever heard of it? And here's my question. Was Star Maidens genuinely ahead of its time with its role reversal story, or is it simply remembered because it's one of the strangest science fiction shows ever made? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this trip back into forgotten television history, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. There are plenty more forgotten TV shows, cult classics and pieces of television nonsense still to uncover. Until next time, keep watching nonsense unfold.